Tokyo DisneySea, the greatest theme park in the world. Some would even go as far as to call it the perfect Disney park. And they might have been right. But since the pandemic, things have taken a drastic turn for the worst in Disney parks around the world. From the addition of paid FastPass to cost-cutting measures such as reduced entertainment and investment in events. And I dare say that out of every Disney park in the world, none of them have gone downhill as significantly as Tokyo DisneySea. So brace yourself, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Ever since it opened in September 4th, 2001, Tokyo DisneySea has been considered the greatest theme park in the world by fans and industry insiders alike. The park changed people's perceptions of what a theme park could be by not only having a painstaking level of detail and storytelling, but also catering specifically to older families and couples, rather than the young family demographic that its neighbour, Tokyo Disneyland, was so perfectly suited to. They did this by having thrill rides such as Indiana Jones Adventure and Journey to the Center of the Earth, romantic and scenic attractions like the Venetian gondolas, fancier table service restaurants and bars like the stunning Magellan's and the immersive SS Columbia dining room, and my personal favourite, the Teddy Roosevelt Lounge. However, it's easy to forget that on opening day, the park only had 3 or 4 major rides. There was no Tower of Terror, no Raging Spirits, no Toy Story Mania, and no Soaring. So what would keep guests occupied for an entire day? Entertainment. Entertainment was part of the park's DNA. Let's start with theatres. There's the huge Broadway Music Theatre in American Waterfront, the Hangar Stage in Lost River Delta, the Magic Lamp Theatre in Arabian Coast, the Mermaid Lagoon Theatre in Mermaid Lagoon, and the dinner theatre location Cape Cod Cook-Off, where the Duffy sensation first began. There were also large daytime and nighttime shows in Mediterranean Harbour, outdoor shows in American Waterfront, live mariachi bands in the El Dorado Cantina, and tons of roaming streetmosphere entertainers, from mini shows to custodial cast members who were actually entertainers, who would spread loads of joy through simple sound effects and miming. And that's all without even touching the seasonal events, which would bring even more entertainment to the park for the vast majority of the year. DisneySea is a stage, and there has always been a huge amount of live entertainment to occupy that stage. Live entertainment serves many purposes in a theme park. It adds value for the guests by giving them more things to do included with their ticket price. It spreads crowds around the park and eases wait times for rides and eateries, and it gives guests an opportunity to sit still in one location and recharge. But most importantly of all, entertainment, when done well, is an opportunity for parks to truly connect with guests. It's that magic that makes Disney and other high-budget theme parks extra special. It's the thing that creates lifelong memories for guests both young and old. It's what gives the parks life. And it pains me to say it, but DisneySea's entertainment has fallen so much since the pandemic, and there are very few signs that things are going to improve anytime soon. The Hangar Stage, the Mermaid Lagoon Theatre, and even the iconic Duffy show in the Cape Cod Cook-Off are all empty. Whilst the Broadway Music Theatre runs Big Band Beat A Special Treat, a COVID-era show which does away with the lively brass band and makes huge cuts to the amount of dancers and performers, which has well overstayed its welcome. Those huge shows on the lagoon at Mediterranean Harbour have been replaced with Mickey and friends circling around on a single barge, waving and then saying goodbye. Seasonal events bring changes to food and merchandise, but nothing in terms of entertainment. And those entertainers who would pretend to be custodial cast members? Well, Tokyo Disney have completely flipped the script, and instead now have actual custodial cast members who are not entertainers and force them to dance in front of the guests. When I saw them, they looked so uncomfortable, and it really felt like such a slap in the face to both the guests and the cast members. Please keep in mind that this is all happening whilst ticket prices increase, staff wages stagnate, and cast members have to constantly tell guests that they're paying more for less. Speaking of paying more for less, FastPasses have also gone. The FastPass system was far from perfect, with popular rides running out immediately after the park opened, but guests had become accustomed to being able to skip a few queues, and having guests pay extra is just another example of how the guests are being nickel and dimed. The big problem that this creates is that Disney have always inflated their waiting times slightly, but now they have a financial incentive to do so, which results in guests making ill-informed decisions, and it's just an extra layer of stress through your day. And here's something that nobody is talking about but that's really winding me up. Ever since these paid fast passes, or Disney Premier Access as they're known here, have been introduced, Tower of Terror is mysteriously only running 2 of its 3 shafts, decreasing throughput by a third. I'll say that again. Tokyo DisneySea is intentionally not operating a third of Tower of Terror, even when the queue is over 2 hours long, purely to make guests more likely to pay to skip the queue. It makes me so angry that they would waste guests' time and money like this, as if they don't already spend enough money to have so much of their day be waiting around. Parks should work to make their queues move faster, not slower. Ugh. Now, I really do want to point out that if you've already booked a trip to Tokyo from abroad and you're really excited to visit Tokyo DisneySea, you're going to have an amazing time. The park is still stunningly beautiful, the rides are still some of the best in the world, and just the novelty of being in such a unique Disney park will leave you with some great photos and some very happy memories. But things are not what they used to be, and as a local to the parks, I wanted to offer my opinion and inform people of how things have changed since the pandemic. A lot of people will give Tokyo Disney the benefit of the doubt and say that Japan have been slow to get back to normal since COVID, and that is true. But with the country officially classifying COVID as the same as the flu and ending special measures from May the 8th, it seems pretty clear that the new cost-cutting Chapek-esque approach of the Tokyo Disney parks isn't going anywhere. Oh, and also, annual passes and multi-day tickets are gone, and the park opens late and closes early, and there are a bunch of special effects around the park that are turned off. Thank you so much for watching! Please subscribe so you don't miss our next video. I'm sorry that this was a bit more pessimistic than usual. I still love the parks, I promise. If you want to see me prove that and count down every ride at Tokyo DisneySea to show you which ones are the best of the best, please check out my video on that. Thanks so much to my patrons B and the Sabaran family for your wonderful support, and to the Disney's Anne for providing photos for the thumbnail, and for being my podcast co-host at the Land of the Rising Sun, the Tokyo Theme Park podcast. We also have some brand new Chandu merch at the 8-Bit Theme Park gift shop, which even has a tail! Look how cute this is, seriously! And remember, as prices increase and COVID-era cost-cutting measures overstay their welcome, let us never stop expecting the very best from the places that claim to be just that. Thanks a lot for watching.